Well, we can scale these up. That's convenient. Can we scale our landing gear? We sure can. We don't yet have air brakes. What else? I am talking. Are you talking? It's picking up my voice. And I don't know about this live stream thing. It doesn't seem to work as well as making the videos, putting them on YouTube. We're going to call it Space Plane because it's plane, but it doesn't go into space. We'll just call it plane. And I suppose we can bring a little science. And a few parachutes wouldn't hurt. That's what she said. Why is it so big? That's what she said. And the second part of that answer is because I made it so big. I want that delta V to get to the other side of the planet. So I made it bigger. Because we have the same specific impulse, but a lot more thrust. Can we resize these? What do you think? Is that enough air intake? Going with no tailplane, eh? Nope. I don't need a tailplane. Why would I use a tailplane? Doesn't even attach right. If by mode you mean mod, it's tweak scale. Too many parts. But I need all my parts. Click. Maybe we should make these symmetrical. I don't understand why it crashed. It had one wing. I can't afford it yet. I might be able to afford it. Alright, so I was mentioning when my microphone wasn't working, I had hot tea. And that should help. That's a lot of money that I don't want to spend just yet. Probably could have just gone straight to the launch pad, but that's okay, we can do it from here. I also said that this is a test flight. And that means that if I crash, I will just revert. Okay. Apparently I only put the one wheel on also. the one back wheel. Are we good? Ignore Ben Kermin. He doesn't exist. He's in Russia. Yeah, there still is a bit of mouse lag here. I don't care for that. Alright, so I think I need to move my wheels forward a bit. And also, one thing I forgot to do is to use some reaction wheels. Or one reaction wheel. Now I know what you're thinking. Why don't you use the newly invented advanced inline stabilizer? It has 15 torque as opposed to 5 torque. Well, we can always resize. And now it has more torque. I don't remember how much. I think it's, yeah, it has 40. 40 is way better than 15. And by better, I mean more. It might be too much. For the same size, it has a lot more. So if anyone out there has any advice on how to fix mouse lag with OBS and or Twitch, let me know. Just because you stalled once doesn't mean I'm gonna stall. I wish I could just wheel torque myself up into the sky. It's not my computer speed, so I don't need a faster computer. This camera is going the opposite direction I'm asking it to go. And now it's clicking off the screen. And I can't get it back. Here we go. It seems like your wing surface area is a bit low given the mass of the ship. Alright. Also seems like it's impossible for this plane to turn. It's just, why is it pointing way off to the left here? I'm literally turning to the right and it's like, no thanks. You'll go left. Hey, now it's going. See, there it goes. What are you doing, plane? I don't think that's because of low wing surface area. Wing surface area doesn't make planes pull to the left. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. It is all because of wing surface area. So if you didn't know, if you are flying in a plane and you're trying to turn right, but the plane itself is going left, it's just because you have a low surface area on your wings. And now you know, so you'll never have to wonder again. Yeah, good thing this was just a simulation indeed. A simulation which I will gain some science from. Maybe. We're coming down fast. That is a lot of bouncing around there. I still can't get any science from Earth. Swim for it! Take off the helmet. This water is really bouncing around a lot. Come on. Come on, camera. Work, please. No, I looked at it, but I didn't get it. Did you get the unpaid research thingy? No. What, am I swimming in place? How am I not getting any closer? I don't want to deal with that. I'm trying to swim back and collect that science, but obviously it's a waste of effort. Wait. I thought I already clicked over to the next page. I was looking for a small delta wing. A small delta wing. But I don't have that yet. Maybe we can just go with the old-fashioned swept wings. Yeah, this lag is still really irritating. Well, that won't work. Well, that totally looks like it would fly, right? It would just flap its wings and fly. So wait, legs was being super loud, why no research thingy? I looked at it and I decided not to do it, that's why. We need that to be bigger. We can't resize some of these components. We can't resize any capsules, cockpits, or command pods, or whatever they are. Whatever it is that you kids call it these days. So I can have a little bit of control surface somewhere. Alright. I don't want to do a whole lot of messing around with this flying. Obviously this isn't going to work, but I'm going to try it just in case. And if it doesn't work, I don't know why it just hopped up on its own. This is going to be hilarious. This simulation will be a thing of beauty. But then I'm going to launch some satellites. I want to roll. I don't want to yaw. I want to roll. I guess that settles it. That's scientific proof. Now that I have a tremendous amount of wing surface area, I'm not quite rolling left. I can't believe this thing flies. It's not even flapping its wings. You know, I did recently install whatever that mod's called. Infernal Robotics? I think I tried to install that. Check my mod list on my latest YouTube video. Episode 7 of 2015, a Kerbal Odyssey. Maybe that'll say... that'll say whether or not I have that on installed. But if I do, and it does have moving parts, I've never used the mod. I don't think they move very quickly. It'd be nice to see if it would flap wings. Let's see if we can gain some altitude. I'm sorry you were disappointed in the length of my previous video. It was only 16 minutes and 11 seconds. I wouldn't call it short, but it was a little bit shorter than the 20 to 22 minute range, which I try to shoot for the most part. The thing is, I had like 36 minutes. Well, the first video I put up, episode 6, that should have still been 20 minutes. The second one was a little shorter. And then things like this is why I wouldn't normally want to, I mean, I haven't live streamed in a little bit, so I wanted to do it, but I know that I had some contracts coming up that don't really allow for a whole lot of excitement. Maybe I should have done the rendezvous in space contract first. I will let the chat box decide, because right now we have gone maybe halfway across Florida and we still have to get all the way down here to Australia. If you would rather watch me try to get two ships in orbit and have them rendezvous, I can always do this contract some other time. I mean, this is just a test flight. Sort of, kind of. The live stream that I went to the Mohole, that was also a test flight. Well, I mean, if I end up using this plane, it would be in a video. A YouTube video. So, I mean, I could use the tail connector, it's just that, well, I mean, I don't need all of these wings. I don't usually like putting these bodies down on the wings. I don't really have a good reason why. Yeah, I can land it. Oh, there I go again. Yawing. Come on, mouse. I'm going to land it somewhere in Florida. Oh, I just realized my throttle was only halfway up. I didn't even notice that. It must have been set at the default from the moment I took off. I do wish I had my Kerbal Engineer computer on board. It'd make it a lot easier to land. I don't think there are any alligators in Kerbal Space Program. What do you think, Val? So when I do when I record the videos and then narrate over them, the way it's set up, I can't actually hear any of the sound from the game while I'm narrating. Why don't you check CCAN and see if there's an alligator mod? Can you do that for me? So, when Ben Kermin was talking back and forth to the command center, I was not aware of that. So that must mean one of the questions is answered. He does have an inside source, or whatever you want to say, however you want to word that. There's someone he is in cahoots with. And how come no one remembers Jebediah dying? He died in episode 1 or 2 because I time accelerated too quickly, and then he came back to life somehow and did that flyby around the moon. And so you remember the death of Jebediah? It's not just my imagination. I don't remember, because I remember looking into if I could revive him or not, and I thought I was able to, but then I couldn't do it. And somehow he came back to life on his own. So, if you're interested in knowing, once he was alive, I changed him to Ben Kermin. So when it says Ben Kermin, that's really the zombie of Jebediah, which will not be part of the story. But that is a way to permanently have a renamed Kermin. Whoa! That was a very smooth landing, and then it was not. And for the life of me, I do not know why. I'm not sure what happened there. But I know it didn't go well, but it went amazing, and then it's like it just kind of exploded somehow. Magic explosions. Something strange about this Earth planet Earth. It's not quite like Kerbin. Maybe some of these satellites we are about to launch will investigate. All that weird mouse zooming out going on, that doesn't seem like a bug in the game. That might be something strange on planet Earth. We brought back about 5 science. Did I just land on Earth? Yes. I took off from Florida and landed on Florida. We are going to recover all of this debris. Hey Duke, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support and all that. I don't have a mod to find humans, but if there is one, maybe I can find one. Okay, so why don't we... Yeah, why aren't there humans here? Is this before the dawn of civilization? Okay, so we're going to use the newly invented Probodobodyne Octo. And we will launch a satellite into space. Millions of years before the Kerbals, humans exist. Or millions of years after. But wouldn't the continental shift be different? Can resize. Oh, yes. Okay, what are we gonna bring up here? A Science Junior, because it's extra small. Get it? You cannot resize Mystery Goo. And I'm not quite sure why. But I do feel like resizing there, see? This rescaling mod is starting to seem cheaty. I don't understand. How is it cheaty? I'm not getting any free Delta V out of it. Rescaling science experiments seems a bit much. I don't understand that one either. I need it to fit, so I rescale it. That's the whole point of the mod, is to rescale things. You don't think it would be possible to build something in a certain size? Like in real life? I think it's possible. Polar Satellite 1. Not to give away what this is going to be. I think size matters a lot when it comes to designing rockets. I would say more than just sometimes. I would say many times size matters. Oh, this is just kind of floating. If you, I mean, it's a legitimate mod. If you find it to be cheaty, then don't use it, I guess. I obviously have no issues against a mod that resizes my components. Do you think these tail fins are too big? I do. It's really just the resizing of the Science Junior that feels a little odd to me. Part of the balance for that is that it's so big. I mean, I guess I get it. I just don't agree. Okay, so this is the auto-balancing landing layer. I'd love to be able to resize these, but you still can't do that. Fairing. Do I have fairings? Oh, I do have fairings. I don't think I need a fairing. I don't think I need a fairing at all, and I'm willing to bet this launch on it. But this is, of course, just a simulation launch. Look at that thrust to weight ratio. What are you talking about unaerodynamic? Look, let me show you. See, it's pointing straight up. That's super aerodynamic. It's about as aerodynamic as you can get. No, I guess the flat part right below it might not be overly aerodynamic. But I think you're just splitting hairs there. There's my flag. Maybe. I don't know, I went south and then I guess I did come up north pretty far. I have that game. It's a fun game, isn't it, Jason? Well, I don't have MechJeb installed. It's one of the more common mods that I don't use. I think I started my turn a little too late. Well, maybe not too late, but it was definitely later than what would have been ideal. Well, I tried using MechJab way back in the day with 0.90, and I never could really get it to do everything I wanted it to do, and I didn't give it a whole lot of time because it was right before 1.0 came out. I mean, you can not really. You can mention 2 challenges. I don't plan on doing them necessarily. I mean, if they sound like they're within what I have unlocked for my technology, then maybe. Why don't you link to my YouTube channel for Jason? I'm trying to get this satellite into orbit. I think links are enabled on my stream. Okay, sure. You might not be able to, but I think you can. There's my JewsTube channel. Gentiles are welcome. If it says deleted link, you should be able to click it. Yeah, that's right. I linked to a virus. Ooh. Hey, I'm in space. I wonder if Dr. Spaceman is up here. 8 subs. There's 8 subscribers to my YouTube channel? That's about 7 more than I would have guessed. Can I get into orbit? Well, I'm pretty confident that if I would have started my turn earlier and then not flattened it out so soon that I could. No, so close. Science. 8 science. Why don't we send some of the science back? Everything looks like it wants to tear itself apart. My mystery goo is, well, I can't decide if it wants to be inside or outside of the rocket. I mean satellite. Let's watch this catastrophe. So is that what if you go to the sandbox and design a plane, land at the pyramids, then go back to the Space Center but you can't turn around, it's a round the world trip. Is that a challenge you want me to do? I don't want to spend a whole lot of time flying. People have done it in real life. Like from somewhere in America to pyramids and back. Not back, but continuing on. Oh, I can go in orbit. I have been to Elu and back. But I'll be darned if I can't get a plane to the end of the runway without it exploding. I have very bad luck at designing space planes, and I do not have technology for that now. We're pretty early on in this career mode with what we've unlocked. Send it. Send the data. Still not much there. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit quicker here. It's not an orbit. Our periapsis never quite made it above 70. I ran out of fuel. Unfortunately. Yeah, that's okay. If you care about your spelling on the internet, you're a step ahead of most people. I notice that when I type in Twitch chat boxes, I'm literally the only person who will put a period at the end of my sentence. I guess Al does it too. It's pretty rare to even see something like that. Save changes. There, now I should have my YouTube link. I wouldn't talk bad about the porpoise. So, Jason, if you're interested, this is episode 8. The first 4 or 5 are live episodes. Then I have 2 or 3 15 to 20 minute or so videos on YouTube that they're a lot more condensed, and I actually accomplish things. And there's a bit of a story going. And Al is working on one himself that's supposed to be related to the story that I'm doing, like a prequel. I'm getting text messages from friends that are watching the Republican debate. I have no interest in watching any debates unless it's a third-party debate, and even then. Yeah, I've never experimented with any multiplayer mods. I've seen some videos of it. It just seems like a lot of people designing fighter jets and shooting one another down. Did I? I mean, did he? Yeah, I made 2 comments, and one was right as he was being named. So he's like, looks like Ben gets the name. And then I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I got up and left because I had an appointment. Oh, I didn't realize he was so close to the end. Feel the Republicans? My internet service provider would prefer that I do not make a server by forwarding my port and sharing my router IP. I also feel like that's very insecure internet behavior. Yeah, but you don't care for Republicans or Democrats, or I'm pretty sure you actually don't even like... what was that? I don't know how you do that. I'm pretty sure you don't even like libertarians, because they're still too... they're not anarchistic enough. Oh, I can't save at this point. You like some libertarians. You probably like 2 libertarians. And I'm one of them. I'm not really a libertarian. Technically, I'm a Republican because that's what I'm... The last time I registered as a Republican. But I don't consider myself a Republican. Or even a libertarian. I line up pretty closely with libertarian ideology, but not completely. Alright, so now you're just making up names. Walter Block, Tom Woods, Robert Murphy, and a few others. None of those guys sound like they're real people to me. Well, I can't make an SSTO at almost any point with what technology I have unlocked. Robert California Israel. I don't know if he's ever been to Israel, but he is real. I thought the Infoglider isn't a thing anymore. I thought they removed that feature from the game. or that bug feature, whatever you want to call it. The only Murphy I can think of is RoboCop, and I didn't really care for RoboCop. I didn't mean it. RoboCop was amazing. It might still work. I heard it doesn't. I never really did it. Anyways, it was like watching Scott Manley do it. It was fun enough. I don't think you can infinite glide your way into orbit, though. Still not turning as much as I would like. I'm just kind of staring at the chat box, tapping the S key. I never watched Interstellar. I downloaded it illegally and got caught, because I always get caught every time I do that. I'm going way too low here. And then I tried to watch it and the sound didn't work at all. It was DVD quality, but the kind of DVD quality you get when you buy DVDs from a street vendor in the middle of Dubai. It's DVD quality, but you're spending $8 on 8 DVDs, 8 movies on one disc. So no, it's not really DVD quality. How did I get caught? Because I always get caught. Every time I would use uTorrent, microtorrent, doesn't matter what I download, I get caught. I will watch it on Netflix when it's on Netflix. See, this is where a fairing would probably help. I downloaded a movie once. I think I was halfway through, and then I was like, oh wait, this is on Netflix, and I canceled the movie and watched it on Netflix. And then I got a notice for downloading a movie illegally, and I'm like, I didn't even finish it. It was like 55% or something like that. Alright, we'll get a little higher for our AlphaAsh. I downloaded so many things, and then, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago, I got caught once, and then every time I lived in South Carolina, I lived in Wisconsin, I lived in Washington. Anytime I'd ever move across the country and try to download something, I'd always get caught. Different internet service provider. I think it's just bad luck. I'm like, why don't I even download, like, I normally just wait for YouTube because I don't really care to go to the movie theater. Not anymore. I really don't need this mystery guru or Science Junior. I heard Ant-Man was terrible, but then again, the reviews that I watch, they usually find most movies terrible. I like the Plinkett reviews by Red Letter Media, but they don't do those too often. They do have half in the bag. I've only seen a few of them. I think there's like 75 or 80. And I'm starting to like it, so I might go back and watch all the old ones. They really liked Jurassic World, or whatever it's called. I don't remember, actually, maybe they did like Ant-Man. I thought they didn't care for it at all. No, they hated the Adam Sandler movie, Pixels. They hated that. Maybe they did like Ant-Man. I don't remember. I think, like, when Iron Man came out and Thor and those kinds of movies, I really liked those. And then they just came out with so many so quickly. And I realized that there's really not a whole lot of creativity in those movies. And they're still good and they're enjoyable, but you feel like you're just watching a well-made formula that Hollywood has released. And now I just don't care for those kinds of movies because of that. I like movies that have very original stories. So I'm always looking for like those hidden gems on Netflix. I hate Adam Sandler a lot. There's like well, I like some of his old movies because they were, to me at the time that I saw them, they were pretty unique and new, like Happy Gilmore. And now it's pretty cliche for him to do those kinds of movies. But that's one that I liked a lot. The Wedding Singer was good. 50 First Dates was good. But he has a few that aren't comedies that I like. Reign Over Me I like. That's really good. And The Cobbler's pretty new. Most people would hate that, but I like it. No, they can't do original stories that are based on comic books. They ripped on that review. Watch the Half in the Bag review for Pixels. These people did not give up on Adam Sandler. I feel like at least one of them said he never understood the hate for Adam Sandler until he saw Pixels. Like, Adam Sandler apparently, his acting is so horrible in the movie. It's like he doesn't even want to be there on set making the movie. I don't know. It's not an interesting enough looking movie for me to want to watch. Okay. Too much chit chat. Oh, I think I saw Little Nicky one time. It was just like, why would you even think that could possibly be a decent movie? I liked Anger Management a little bit, but only because we watched it at the very end of boot camp, and I hadn't seen any movie in, 9 weeks? And then once we finished our, whatever they call it, that 24-hour, whatever they do at the end, a lot of people they would let sleep, but our division wouldn't, but they did let us watch a couple movies, and that was one of them. And Pulp Fiction was the other one. And now I really like that movie. Probably for the same reason. I mean, it's a really good movie, but okay, this contract says rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of Earth. Have 2 different vessels in orbit of Earth within visual range of each other and kill their relative velocity to achieve this goal. Duke says he's never seen Pulp Fiction. Have you ever seen any Quentin Tarantino movie? I think Pulp Fiction is his best movie by far. The Kill Bills are not nearly as good as Pulp Fiction is. That's obviously debatable and subjective, but I think most fans of Tarantino would agree. I didn't care for Django Unchained. It didn't have that Tarantino feel to me that I was looking for. I mean, I think at the end I was like, well, why didn't I just watch 12 Years a Slave instead? I don't think you can say Pulp Fiction is objectively better than Kill Bill. I don't think that's a logical statement. It's clearly better, but it's still subjective. Even if everyone shares the opinion, it's still a subjective opinion. But you don't have to take my word for it. Dun-dun-dun. I don't want to. Well, that'd be... That, yeah, I think that would feel a little weird if I could resize my fan. If everyone believes one thing, does that make it true? Not necessarily. Depends on the thing. I would say in general, no. But I guess how could it depend on the thing? Like, it's probably true, but do you have any examples? Or is it going to be all based on semantics? I can set targets now. I've upgraded something. I forgot what. But now I can set targets. If everyone believes that gold is more valuable than water, that makes it objectively true as evidenced in the relative price of gold and water. Well, it's objectively true that everyone believes gold is more valuable than water. But that's because value is based on what people choose to believe. If people had never existed, gold and water would have no value at all. Value is a trait assigned by humans. So is it objectively true, really? But the price is objective and only based on belief. Well, that's kind of my point. It's only based on belief. Apparently Donald Trump is making a fool of himself, I guess. Value isn't objective, but price is. As far as I understand the terms, I would agree with that. Oh, I took my computer away. Whoops. Why am I not full throttle? Donald Trump is always making a fool of himself. Saying it is like noting that water is wet. Well, the ice in my freezer is water, and that's not wet. And that's actually a fallacy, Tim. And you know it. It's probably true that he's making a fool of himself, and you would expect that, but you would have to analyze what he's saying first. It's highly likely that when he talks, he's going to make a fool of himself in one way or another. Potentially. Then again, many politicians say foolish things that the mass public doesn't find foolish, and I do, so even that can be subjective. I'm trying not to slurp this beverage too much. I forgot my computer. I disagree. He says, Trump is a crazy xenophobic nationalist. I don't like any of those things. I think you like the crazy. Oh no, I ran out of gas. Yeah, you keep saying you don't like crazy, but I know you in real life, and I know that you like crazy. Maybe not his brand of crazy, but a brand of crazy. Okay, so you probably don't like crazy. But I do know you in real life, that part's true. I guess one of the broadcasters said, I don't know, someone said, it sounds, this is a quote, it sounds like a debate between 9 robots and Donald Trump, end quote. They're all giving like political answers because they're politicians, and then Trump is just talking the way he talks because he's Donald Trump. Ready? Oh, you know what I forgot is I forgot to put batteries on here. Oops. Okay, let's establish an orbit. What is this? Moon or bust debris. I wonder how low that goes. It looks like it's well within the atmosphere. I actually misquoted. It didn't say Donald Trump, it just said Trump. It sounds like a debate between 9 robots and Trump. I can't believe that he's like leading among Republicans. He seems like a joke. I just expect him to go away. And he will, but he hasn't yet. And that's the surprising thing to me. Okay, I don't like how dizzy that makes me. We're running out of power! We have our power back! Okay, where is this guy? I didn't say where is the sky, I said where is this guy? It's not a guy. It's a probe. Maybe we're just way far away. There it is. This lead doesn't surprise me at all. Republicans are crazy, xenophobic, nationalistic, and also fed up with the GOP establishment. Well, that's not a hasty generalization. Do you mean to say that all Republicans are those things, or just a majority? No, literally every last Republican, it's just the trend. Do you mean literally like in the established definition? Or like the newer definition where literally also means its own opposite, figuratively? Welcome back, Jason. I did not see you say you were leaving, but I noticed you weren't talking for a while. Okay, so you think that every Republican is actually crazy and xenophobic and nationalistic and fed up with the GOP establishment. Well, I disagree with you. And I mean, the burden of proof would be on you So to prove it, you would have to show every last Republican in all of existence to be all of those things. You don't think it, it's what you said. Did I not read what you said? I don't understand what you're saying. You're saying that it's not just something you think, but it's like absolute proof. There's no possible way it could be anything else? Is that what you're implying? No, not literally every last Republican, it's just a trend. Nope, I did not read you what you said. I read everything you said except for the crucial word not, which completely changes the meaning. That's my mistake. I still want you to prove it to me, though, that every last Republican... No, I'm just kidding. What's our... LOL. It's just one word I missed. It's not like it was the by far most important word. Oh wait, it was. I bet. I just need to... Oh man, I really like being able to set maneuver nodes. I'm so glad I can do that now. I bet we just need to correct our angle here. It happens. That happens with me all the time. I'll miss just one word, but it's like the most important word. See you later, Duke. I have no electric charge. Okay, I have yes electric charge. I mean, we'll see what happens here. Whoa! Did not mean to do that. Well, I guess I overburned. I had this idea, maybe if I overburn, I can still make that correction right before I get there. And we'll probably, it looks like we're still, oops. Not circular, so well, there's a burn we can do to fix this and get really close. Oh, I went way too far. Oh gosh. That's how Jeb died. That's how Jeb died. Too much time acceleration. Yeah, the last time I tried to brute force something like that, I was able to do it, but it didn't go very well. And that should be in one of my videos where... Which video was it? I had a Kerbal and they were trying to go from one vessel to another and they weren't quite aligned, and I used up a lot of that jetpack fuel to get there. I can brute force it. I feel like I can brute force it when I'm within 3 kilometers, so we're here at 2.9. I mean, I probably have the Delta V, I just don't want to screw it up. I don't want to shroot it. I don't mind making a mistake here or there, even if it's like 3 or 4 of them, but I don't want to screw it up to a point where it's not recoverable at all. I thought we would have solar power at this point, but it doesn't look like we will. Come on, get into the sunlight. Okay, now we can kill relative velocity. And if we're not close enough, we can get closer. Oh, I'm getting really bad mouse lag. Stop it, mouse. Why is this not... Oh, it's clicked off the screen. Wait a second. Now I've completed my contract? I haven't completed my contract. I have to be within sight of it and negate all the velocity. I'm arguing with this contract the same way I argued with that old contract where I didn't get credit because I wasn't flying, even though I was actually flying. Okay, now I'll take credit for the contract. I mean, it's not like I was gonna reject it, say no credit. No. Okay, now I know I want a few satellites in orbit, but it would kind of be fun to crash one of these into the other. Would it not? Who wants to see a space explosion? Over the North Pole, right? Yeah. For science! Well, that wasn't that cool. Oh! Just missed it. Lame explosion indeed. I can't. Oh, my. Of course, my RCS tanks exploded. This might be. I think we're gonna get a little closer and see how our heading looks, and then try to just hit it really hard. Okay. Let's go a little quicker. Let's go a little slower. Now, if this wasn't a live stream, you could see this, all of these misses cut out. Nice! Although the camera angle wasn't great. Yes, come on. Well. We could try to rescue Valentina Kermin, stranded in low Earth orbit. Oh, there's a bunch of people I can rescue. How great is that? Would none great be the right answer? Explore Mercury. Oh, we have a satellite contract. Let's do this. But unfortunately, it will have to be next time, because this live stream will be coming to an end at approximately 1 hour and 40 minutes. And I know what you're thinking. Please never end live stream. Well, it has to end. Sorry. But all of you crazy viewers out there, you stay classy.